let's round out with this. I am recording this one because I wanted to, but I have this new video from Rima, and apparently this came out on the 17th. No, the 16th is when she made it. I don't know when she did. Yeah, she published it 2 days ago, and I saw the thumbnail for this. Sex with a twice. And it's beloved VTuber artist confessed to crimes live and destroyed his career. I saw this and I was like, what? 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 So I wanted to watch it with you guys. And I love Rima videos, obviously. If you haven't figured it out by now, I'm a huge Rima fan. But I saw this title and was like, what? So we're going to put this obviously on like 1.25 speed or yeah, 1.25 speed, not sleep. I want 1.25 speed, and we'll watch this together. Just see what the heck or what's going on with this one. There's another video from, I want to say 2 weeks ago that I wanted to watch where a VTuber apparently crashed a car, but I saw this one. I was like, wait, what? So let's see this.
It was late June 2025 when a single tweet set the VTuber community on edge. From Korikori, a name that needs little introduction in Japan's entertainment world. Korikori isn't just a gossip streamer, he's Japan's most notorious expose YouTuber.
I have heard about Korikori, primarily again from Rima content, but there's a lot of interesting things that go out there, but I'm curious about this one.
Known for his sensationalist style and massive live streams, he's built a reputation for getting insider information directly from VTubers, musicians, and public figures themselves. He's exposed major music producers like Yab, which worked with Niji Sanji, and was a key source behind the very public divorce of Mafu Mafu and Mikeneko. And he also played a major role in the Rushia Ruha scandal that led to one of Hololive's most infamous terminations. So when Korikori tweeted,
isn't it infamous? It's not infamous, it's infamous. But I've been hearing people say infamous more and more, and it's starting to really bother me, and now I'm starting to wonder, is infamous the wrong way to say it? I am starting to wonder that.
That night, people paid attention. At tonight 11 p.m., he wrote, "Live broadcast. I will make accusations related to former Hololive member Minato Aqua." One sentence. That's all it took to set the VTuber world on fire. To understand why fans were so alarmed, you have to understand who Minato Aqua is, or rather, who she was. Minato Aqua was one of Hololive's top stars. After 6 years as part of Hololive, her graduation on August 28, 2024 sent shockwaves through the community. She was a foundational member, a fan favorite, and for many, one of the faces of Hololive itself. But her story didn't end there. Just
when it comes to a lot of the JP people, I have no real understanding of like them because I'm English. I can only understand English. I don't speak Japanese. I try to see some of the JP people primarily when they're hanging out with like Hako's Bell or, you know, some of the other English people, but I don't really see the JP people that much. So I'm not very familiar with some of these people. People who say infamous are retarded. No, they are saying infamous wrong. Thank you. Thank you.
2 months later, on October 27th, 2024, Aqua returned. She redebuted under a new identity, Sakuna Yuki, and her comeback livestream shattered records, with over 300,000 live viewers tuning in simultaneously, a level of attention most VTubers can only dream of. So when Korikori named her in his tweet, fans immediately feared the worst. Would he expose something from her past, reveal personal details she had kept hidden, or was he about to drop a scandal connected to Hololive itself? Soon after, Korikori issued his second announcement. Starting at 10:45 p.m., a live broadcast of dark news on Kick, Hololive, Minato Aqua, Sakuna Yuki's case. 3 names: Aqua, Hololive, Sakuna Yuki, and a warning: dark news. Fans were left to speculate. Theories spread like wildfire. After all, Korikori streams have a history of not just reporting news, but changing careers or ending them. When the livestream finally begun, the truth stunned even Korikori's regular viewers. It wasn't Aqua, it wasn't Yuki, it wasn't Hololive, but it was someone deeply connected to all of them. Her illustrator, a respected artist named Gao, and what Korikori revealed that night would end his career. This is the story of the Gao scandal. Korikori began the central portion of his stream by calling the alleged victim directly. She joined the call live. Her tone was quiet, oddly casual, but her statements were unsettling. She explained that their relationship began when she was 14 years old. After replying to Gao's tweet, he contacted her through direct messages. From there, they played Splatoon together, grew close over regular calls, and after just a few months between August and October, she was the one who suggested they meet in person. She
Never do this! Never, ever, ever do this. It doesn't matter what they are. If a minor comes to you and says, "Hey, let's meet up in person," you say, "No, go the other way." Who the fuck thinks it's a good idea to meet up with people in person? Especially a 14-year-old.
Traveled to Gao's home, she stayed overnight, and their relationship turned physical. At the time, she said she believed Gao was single. She told Korikori directly, "At the time, I didn't know he was married."
Wait. Not only did you do naughty no-no stuff with a 14-year-old and she stayed overnight, you're married, so you cheated with a 14-year-old. Don't come up. Don't what the fuck?
Only after they began meeting, she explained, did Gao reveal the truth. He told her he was separated from his wife and that his child, who was in elementary school, lived with the wife separately. He himself was living with a girlfriend. Initially, he had claimed to the victim that the apartment was simply a...
So he was married. Wait. So he told the victim... This doesn't get better. So he told the victim, because it doesn't matter what age he is, it's still statutory, even in Japan. Japan's age of consent is 16. So he told her, I was married, my kid was in elementary school, and I live with my girlfriend. That doesn't make this all better.
Rented workspace. In reality, she discovered that he was living there with his girlfriend, whom he introduced to her after she arrived. This revelation came only after she had already visited his home and stayed there. In other words, while Gao was still legally married and had a child, he was living full-time with a different partner, his girlfriend, at the apartment where he invited the victim, all the while having an affair with a minor. Despite
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
this, she said she wanted to keep seeing him, but Gao eventually blocked her, cutting off contact, a detail he would later confirm himself. Yet, their story wasn't over. Years later, they reconnected online without even realizing it. Gao, using a different account under a different name, contacted her again. She herself was using a different name and appearance, notably, she had changed her hair. For 2 years, they talked regularly, mostly through calls. According to her, Gao did not recognize that she was the same girl from years earlier. In May 2025, when she turned 17, they met again in person.
I mean, the age of consent in Japan is 16, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still a crime, at least the first part.
Even then, she said Gao still didn't realize who she was. She explained that Gao told her he was divorced and single, and believing him, she agreed to meet. They went to a hotel, resumed a physical relationship, and began dating again. But the relationship didn't last. Around June, Gao told her he couldn't forget his ex-girlfriend and broke up with her. She also revealed that while dating her, Gao had been seeing his ex behind her back.
This dude sounds like the biggest scumbag I've ever heard. This dude is vile already. Yes, wood chipper is the correct answer here, but goddamn, there's so much awfulness around this dude.
And one of the most disturbing details, she revealed that she had a 5-hour recording of conversations between herself and Gao. At that point, Korikori asked her directly, "So you're exposing him now because he dumped you?" And she replied, "Honestly, yes."
I mean, yeah, makes sense. This all sounds awful. There are no heroes in this story right now. But hey, you're all vile right now. God damn.
Korikori acknowledged her motive, but stressed to viewers, even though your reason isn't pure, this guy's dangerous. He warned that Gao could have targeted others. Korikori then explained that Gao was not only a VTuber illustrator, but also known for creating adult doujinjis. Some of those works, Korikori suggested, may have been inspired
I'm not gonna piss you off, Ariel. I love you, I love you, darling.
by real-life encounters. He posed to explain for viewers unfamiliar with VTuber culture. For those unaware, in VTuber culture, the artist who draws the avatar is called the Papa. In this case, from this guy, Minato's Aqua's illustrator. Finally, Korikori revealed that Gao had also leaked confidential information in private calls. This included unannounced anime collaborations and behind-the-scene details about the VTubers he worked with. But just as the story seemed to reach its peak,
This dude's more than dangerous. What the fuck? I get wanting to show that shit, wanting to brag about everything you do, but there's so much levels to this. There's so much levels to this, and I'm sitting here going like, Well, okay, yeah. Violating everybody's, the pedo stuff should be the first thing, don't do that ever, the wood chipper. But then it's like, okay, he did this, so wood chipper for this. You know what? Another wood chipper round because you're just a scumbag and a dirty cheater. And then finally, you're revealing all this information, private information about VTubers. God damn. What more can you do?
Something unexpected happened. Gao himself appeared in Korikori's stream chat. Without hesitation, Korikori invited him into the call. Moments later, Gao's voice was heard live. What followed was no longer just testimony, it was confrontation. Korikori questioned Gao directly. He asked why Gao had blocked him earlier. Gao admitted he did so to avoid being flamed by him. Then, Korikori asked him the central question. Is it true you had a relationship with this girl when she was underage? And Gao simply replied, yes.
I thought this was going to be something completely different, and I stumbled onto something that's just pure gold because I'm like, holy shit. They had you dead rights. At least you admitted to it. Jeremy, wait 1 more minute. It'll get worse. Oh my god.
That's true. Just like this, he admitted to everything. Korikori followed up. Seriously, and was she the only one? And Gao answered no.
Bro, please tell me you watched this and didn't just bet. Did it just take a gamble? It just keeps getting worse. God damn it, I love Rima videos. She finds some of the most interesting things. This is all apparently massive on the J. I did not know any of this, and I'm just like, holy fuck.
There's one more. When asked if the other girl was famous, Gao said, no, she's just a regular person. Korikori also asked whether Gao had ever pretended to be a female online. Gao simply replied, I didn't try to act female, but I kept my gender ambiguous.
Wait, back that up, back that up, back that up.
Said, no, she's just a regular person. Korikori also asked whether Gao had ever pretended to be a female online. Gao simply replied, I didn't try to act female, but I kept my gender ambiguous. Then came one of the most surreal moments of the stream. Korikori asked the victim when she had told Gao that she was the same girl from years earlier. She explained that she had only told him during their breakup call that day. Korikori reacted in disbelief. Today? You said I'm the same girl from when I was 14? And she confirmed yes. When asked why she didn't reveal her identity sooner, she said simply, I missed the right timing. Basically, it was only after Gao ended their second relationship that the victim finally decided to reveal the truth. He had never even realized it before. Insane. And although she had previously told...
You know what? I think that's actually on your fault there. You know what? I'm not going to dig into that. That I was about to say something really sleazy and scummy there. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that. God damn. This situation is serious. I'm not going to say the sleazy, scummy thing that I thought was going to be funny to say. Holy shit. Holy shit. I'm too sober for this, guys. I'm too sober.
Korikori about her story years ago. It was only now that she gave Korikori permission to tell her story publicly. And during Kori's stream, Gao himself confirmed this sequence of events. Korikori then asked her what she wanted from Gao now. Her response was direct. I want him to apologize for hiding his marriage, cheating, and I hope this prevents more victims. Korikori replayed her words to Gao. Can you apologize for that? Gao replied, yes, I'm truly sorry for hiding my marriage and for what I did. Korikori then asked if she planned to report him to the police. She answered, I'm thinking about it. I plan to discuss it with my parents. Turning to Gao, Korikori asked, what's your plan? Do you intend to take responsibility? And Gao responded, as an illustrator, I think it's going to be impossible for me to continue. I'm considering retiring. When Korikori commented, even though you're talented, Gao replied, I've betrayed the VTubers I work with. I probably can't be involved in this industry anymore.
No, you can't be involved in this industry. You can't be involved with a lot of industries right now. You deserve prison time and a wood chipper.
And Korikori encouraged the victim to work with her mother and consider legal action. She revealed that during the stream itself, she had messaged her mother, telling her what had happened. Her mother replied, thank you for having the courage to tell me. Korikori then reassured her and emphasized that reporting to the police was the correct next step. At another point during the confrontation, Korikori even asked Gao how he intended to take responsibility for what had happened. And Gao responded that if the victim did file a police report, he would turn himself in. As the stream neared its end, Korikori addressed his viewers directly. This wasn't just an internet controversy, this was a criminal case. And Gao, beyond his confession on the stream, made no public statement on social media. Korikori reminded viewers that what happened next would depend entirely on whether the victim filed a police report. And yet, as serious as Gao's admissions were, the story wasn't over, because equally troubling revelations were still to come.
We're 9 minutes in. We're basically 10 minutes into a 30-minute video, bros. How much worse can this get?
At this point in Korikori's stream, the situation was obviously no longer just a scandal, it was potentially a criminal case. In 2023, Japan officially raised its national minimal age of consent from 13 to 16 years old, ending a law that had remained unchanged for more than a century and was long criticized as among the lowest in developed world, according to reporting from NPR. This legal reform was part of a broader overhaul of Japan's outdated laws related to violence. However, that national standard doesn't reflect the whole legal picture. Each of Japan's 47 prefectures can enforce stricter protections through local regulations. In prefectures like Tokyo, for example, the age of consent is effectively raised to 18 years old under
Oh, so that's actually similar to a lot of it's kind of like the reverse of America, because certain states have different like age of consent laws. Like in, I believe, Kansas, where I'm from, the age of consent is technically 16, but the federal age is 18. So it's the reverse of that, at least in Tokyo. So that's actually interesting. I didn't know that little tidbit of fact. But apparently it gets worse. And yes, they do have a very, very, very low age of consent law thing there. Yeah, even listen, I love Japan a lot. Some of that shit needs to get changed.
The so-called obscenity ordinance designed to protect minors from exploitation. In this case, the victim mentioned working at a maid cafe in Kansai and stated that Gao lived nearby. Their apartments were reportedly just 3 minutes apart. Kansai encompasses major prefectures like Osaka, Kyoto, and Hyogo. While exact prefectural laws vary, many parts of Kansai have similar strict protections. Under Japan's Child Welfare Act, engaging in any intimate relationship with a person under 18 years old, unless legally married with parental approval, is considered a punishable offense. And in this situation, there was no gray area. Gao was approximately 40 years old.
Wood chipper. Wood chipper. Wood chipper, wood chipper, wood chipper, wood chipper, wood chipper.
The girl was just 14 at the time of their first physical encounter. According to NPR, under the 2023 reforms, any physical relationship involving someone aged 13 to 15 becomes a crime if the adult involved is 5 or more years older. Gao
that shouldn't be that specific. It's just, you know what? Bye.
Exceeded that threshold by nearly 3 decades. When we lay this against the timeline revealed in Korikori's stream, the severity becomes even clearer. Their first relationship began when she was 14, likely in late 2021 or 2022, and their second physical meeting happened in May 2025 when she was still a legal minor. And Gao himself acknowledged the gravity of
Have a good night, bro. Have a good night, buddy.
What he'd done. On stream, he stated that if she went to the police, he'd turn himself in. This was almost certainly a violation of Japan's child protection laws, and everyone watching Korikori's stream that night understood that. But as serious as Gao's confessions already were, there was more, and the next accusations were of an equally dark nature. Partway through the stream, Korikori revealed a new layer to the story, one that blurred the line between fiction and real-life harm. It turned out that Gao's work as an illustrator wasn't limited to safe commercial projects. He was also known for creating adult doujinjis, self-published manga with explicit content. And according to the victim, some of those works weren't entirely fictional. During the stream, Korikori questioned Gao directly. "You've confirmed that you used the victim's ex-girlfriend's name as a character in your doujinji, right?" Gao's answer was simple: yes, intentionally. But the situation was worse than that. Korikori revealed that Gao had previously used a different underage girl he had dated 5 to 6 years earlier as inspiration for one of his adult
I need liquor. I need a lot of liquor. I stumbled upon something that I was not expecting. I feel like I was flashbanged. You know, I knew everything that was going to be said here, and now I'm like, God damn, this just keeps getting worse. And now you're essentially writing your underage lovers. Where's Fireball? I need
doujinji works. The link was discovered when readers noticed that a character either shared the same name or a very similar one to the real girl. For everyone listening, the implication was deeply disturbing. Gao hadn't just drawn...
They are censored, so... But, they're in the video. I get what you're trying to say, bro, but they're in the video.
Fictional stories. He had used real people, real minors, mind you, as...
Disclaimer, there is no official confrontation regarding the ex-girlfriend's age. Oh, confirmation of the regard. Though timeline strongly suggests she may have been a minor. This is Shadman level shit. This is Shadman level shit.
Material for adult works, and the breaches of trust didn't stop there. Korikori also disclosed that Gao had leaked confidential information about the VTubers he worked with, including Aqua herself. During conversations with the victim, Gao reportedly shared Aqua's actual age when she debuted in.
You don't share this information ever. Like, in the grand scheme of things, guys, all the pedo stuff's still up here. All this shit is up here. Wood chipper. The VTuber stuff's down here. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe we should have told this stuff in reverse, to be quite honest with you, because then we could be like, hey, you know what? This shit's awful. Then we could go like, oh, I hate this guy even more. Because now it's like, oh, dude's a pedo. I mean, he's a pedo. Then you're going like, well, he also revealed the VTuber, like the secrets behind the VTubers. And it's like, I already hate the dude. This isn't making me think anything worse. It's like, but he's a pedo. Everything else is kind of just null and void at that point. It's like, it's all bad. He's a monster.
Hololive, something never publicly revealed. He also disclosed personal details about Aqua's dealings with Cover Corporation, and according to the victim, Gao said Cover wanted Aqua to sign a non-compete contract, preventing her from debuting immediately as Sakuna Yuki after her Hololive graduation. Aqua allegedly had resisted. By this point, the scandal wasn't just about Gao's personal relationships anymore. It was about betrayal. Betrayal of the fans, betrayal of the VTuber talents who trusted him, and betrayal of an industry that had once viewed him as a respected artist. The revelations had reached their end, but Gao's downfall had only just begun. The reactions from fans and industry circle was immediate and devastating. Gao wasn't just any illustrator. He was a beloved figure, both inside and outside of Hololive. Minato Aqua herself had spoken about him in high regard. For many fans, he was part of her identity. After all, he had designed both her Aqua and her Yuki model. The revelation that someone so trusted, so admired, could be at the center of such serious allegations left the VTuber community stunned. On social media, the mood was a mix of disbelief, anger, and heartbreak. Sakuna Yuki's fans, Aqua's reincarnation, rallied around her, but the atmosphere was heavy. People weren't just upset, they were lost. They were confused. Many fans, especially those who had followed Aqua's careers for years, didn't know how to process the betrayal. Even other artists who once worked alongside Gao publicly shared their sadness and confusion.
I don't blame anybody for being upset about this one. This is dark. This is fucked up. I was expecting it would at least take a little bit of work to get this guy to confess, but it was like, no, I'm just going to come out here in the middle of this stuff and say that I'm worse than Shadman. Actually, I still think Shadman's worse, to be fair here. Shadman's just awful.
Some clung to the faint hope that the person who joined Korikori's stream wasn't really him, but with Gao confirming the accusations live and even apologizing directly to the victim, denial felt like grasping at shadows. Many viewers agreed that Korikori's stream did at least one important thing. He convinced the victim to tell her mother and consider going to the police. And yet, even that moment was uncomfortable. Korikori had shown the private message the victim sent her mother live on stream, a move some saw as sensationalism, others as necessary evidence.
I think it is sensationalism. I don't think that is actually important to do it, but hey, this guy is that's that guy's MO. He likes to do stuff like that. So.
At this point, public opinion was nearly unanimous. People weren't waiting to see if the accusations were true. They were waiting to see what Gao would do next. His silence on social media was deafening. And for fans, collaborators, and even casual followers, there was only one word that echoed through the community: betrayal. Following Korikori's exposed stream, the VTuber community was holding its breath. Everyone was waiting to see what Yuki Sakuna would do. After all, her name was now attached to this controversy more than anyone else's. While Gao was a respected illustrator within industry circles, illustrators themselves rarely carried the public recognition of influencers or talents. But Korikori's stream had changed that. By framing the situation around Minato Aqua, now reincarnated as Yuki Sakuna, this
You don't think you understand what runs through people's heads, and you don't think you know what? You don't want to know what goes through these people's heads, Clouds. I've heard people say, well, it's because they're sickness, or they're addicted, and all this stuff. I don't want to know. Well, I think the quickest solution to a lot of this is a wood chipper.
Scandal had pulled her directly into the center of the storm. But Yuki Sakuna acted quickly. Just one day after Korikori's livestream on June 30, 2025, she addressed the situation indirectly through a tweet to her 628,000 followers. Her message was subtle but telling. I'm currently making adjustments regarding future activities, and I'll let you know as soon as things are finalized. Due to the scheduling, there are some work announcements coming up soon, and I'd be happy if you could warmly support those. Thank you for understanding. But it wasn't long before she made a formal announcement. On July 2nd, 2025, Sakuna released an official statement that addressed the situation directly. She would no longer be working with Gao. In response to the confirmation of inappropriate behavior by the illustrator, we have decided to refrain from using illustration in the future. However, we make exceptions for recent work that is already in progress. After discussing the matter with the client, please understand this in advance.
That's smart. I mean, the current stuff, maybe you should find somebody else just to say to pick up the slack and just, you know, cut all ties immediately. But hey, some of the stuff makes some sense. I'm still gonna sit here and go like, yeah, we probably shouldn't be doing this.
The rights to the character design and will continue to work on them. On the other hand, we are currently in careful discussions regarding the visuals to be used in the live broadcast, including the use of a new illustrator. Although this is a sudden announcement, we would like to continue our activities as usual, so we would appreciate if you could keep a warm eye on us. We hope you will continue to support Sakuna Yuki in the future. The message was professional, calm, but unmistakably firm. Sakuna was cutting ties. In an industry where silence is often the norm, her swift decision to publicly distance herself from Gao sent a clear message. This was not something she could ignore. And then, Yuki Sakuna went live to address the controversy. But this wasn't her usual upbeat stream. Her tone was serious, her background was minimal, she even joked that her setup looked like an old-school Nico Nico broadcast. But the humor faded quickly. She got straight to the point. For those who had been following her updates on Twitter, she said the situation was probably obvious by now, but for everyone else, she explained her illustrator, the man responsible for her character design, had done something terribly serious. And now the consequences were public. Sakuna confirmed what many fans had feared. She stated that she and her team had urgently suspended the use of Gao's illustrations. She described the scandal as big news, admitting that it had caused chaos behind the scenes, saying things had been extremely difficult. But what stood out the most was her raw honesty. Sakuna openly admitted her shock and frustration, saying,
Oh wait, I was not even reading that. I was expecting to see something different. Give me a moment.
Admitted her shock and frustration, saying,
Really, I knew absolutely nothing. Yeah, I was really surprised. Well, of course, I have lots of thoughts about it. If I'm being honest, I think is what she said. What are you doing, you idiot? You know what? That's a fair thing to think. I'm still sitting over here like wood chipper, you know, what steamroller? Yeah, steamroller, something like that, you know, something to take care of this. We could reenact the Austin Power scenes, just, you know, move everything just a little bit closer together so that the guy can't really run away. You know, I'm thinking this stuff through just a little bit here because, well, you're a pedo.
She described how overwhelming it felt when the scandal erupted.
For real, from my point of view, it was like a city got blown away in one night. I wake up and what greeted me was the end of the world. I mean, if you think about it, this guy you've been working with for years at this point in time. You've been here for so long. He's been like one of your closest allies in a lot of the stuff. Then you find out all this disgusting, disturbing stuff about him overnight. Jesus Christ. Then came something no one expected. She hinted at the financial damage caused by the scandal. One day, I do feel like I want to reveal what the monetary hit was. Ooh. Oh, she probably would actually end up seeing a bunch of people like dropping her because of the art that she uses and the people that she was tied to. She probably actually did take a massive hit to her funding and sponsorship deals just because of like the blowback at the end of the day. That probably would have happened there. People probably quit following her. People probably quit super chatting her because she utilizes his artwork, his models and stuff like that. That this is fucking serious. Massive VTubers now basically losing a big hit of her funds because of what the artist did. And people thought most VTuber dramas were just them talking about themselves over and over again. Nah. Get shit like this from time to time. But it was quite incredible is what she was saying. It wasn't just about money, it was about powerlessness. She explained to viewers, but even so, there are problems that I can do something about and others that I can't do anything about. If it was just me taking all the damage, then it's still fine. You can talk to minors as a reasonable adult and guide like an elder brother or father, not a wolf in heat. I mean, I agree with that, but at the same time, I take the stance of just don't talk to minors.
じゃあ損害を被るだけなら
If it was just me taking all the damage, then it's still
いい
fine.
のよ。その損害を
Then I just have to accept all those damages.
受け入れ
But
てってなってくるんだけど、もっと大きな
when companies that are often even bigger scale are involved, when companies that are of an even
規
bigger
模感
scale are
の
involved,
会社さんとかが関わってくると、その会社
then the decision of those companies have to be accounted for. I mean, Hololive was technically involved in all this. Hololive, Cover Corp, they were all involved in this technically because of the person that they employed that was doing all this. I think also around the same time that she was still a part of actually, no, during Hololive times. So he was doing all this while still being a part of their whole company. God damn. Just the thought of the amount of damage this brought.
さんの判断とかもあったりするわけ。
And then came the moment fans had been dreading, her plans for the future. Sakuna confirmed that a redesign was likely coming, but she wasn't too sure on it yet.
デザインというか、ちょっと、まあ、
It might change about my design, it might
変わる
change
かなと。
a
リデザイン
bit.
というか、
Well, in terms of
バー
redesign,
ジョン。
I'm thinking of having two versions of my design. You should probably do a redesign, do like maybe a little bit alters here or there, maybe change up the hairdo just a little bit, maybe even the hair colors a little bit, not drastically, but you know, new outfits, new things like that, just to try to move away from everything. That actually makes kind of sense.
を考えています。イラストレーターさんは
And there will likely be a different illustrator for each version. That's smart.
多分それぞれ違うかも。
Yet, despite every
And also, you have to think that's a lot of money right there. That's a lot of moolah just to do two different things. So she's going to have to build up time to actually do that. Even if she does go through with that, I don't know. But that's a lot of time, effort, money, and preparation just to do all that. And this is all because the guy was a pedo.
Sakuna took time to thank everyone who had supported her. She said that industry colleagues, friends, and fans had helped her get through what she described as the hardest period of her career. Near the end of her stream, she issued one last warning to fans.
変な情報
Don't just swallow. How about if we change those words? Don't just swallow up weird info, hook, line, and
を鵜
sinker.
呑みにしないでください。それを
And also, don't
拡
spread
散しないでください。確証のない。
information that has no basis. That's actually fair. I like to do that as well. Just, you know, take in the information, figure out what's what, and then put out the actual correct information. This just lessens my hope in humanity. I mean, there's still hope in humanity. You only ever hear about the bad stuff. There's always the good stuff that still happens. You just don't hear about it because people don't like to talk about all the good times.
情報をどれが本当でどれが嘘か
Please carefully figure out what is true and what is
は
false.
ね、しっかり見極めて。
And finally, she reassured everyone that this wouldn't be the end for her. Even after losing a trusted illustrator, even after public betrayal, she promised to keep moving forward. And just like that, the fallout reached the official stage. Gao's career wasn't just ending, it was being erased. Because following Korikori's expose, Gao's professional collapse began almost immediately. One by one, companies he had worked with started to distance themselves from him. One of the first was the PC game girl's creation Shoujo Art Tales, published by
This looks interesting. This is probably what's going to happen, and I don't have a problem with this one.
Ex-Noah and part of the DMM group. On June 30th, 2025, just a day after the scandal broke, Girls Creation PR issued a public announcement confirming Gao's involvement in their project. They wasted no time. The statement began, "We are providing information regarding some character designs that have been inquired about. Please check the in-game announcement or the attached images for details." Gao was responsible for the character design for the game. But that wasn't all. In a longer statement posted to their official website, the management acknowledged receiving a wave of inquiries about Gao's involvement, and they admitted they didn't have yet a full understanding of the situation, stating, "We do not have a detailed grasp of the situation, but we will continue to confirm the facts." They then confirmed that Gao was no longer working on any ongoing content for the game. However,
Minor pushback. This is just editing advice there, Rima, and to take this as you will. Maybe instead of doing, you know, like this and then doing the highlights,
and they admitted they didn't
like doing the highlights
have yet
here,
a full understanding of the situation, stating, "We do not have a detailed grasp of the
yeah, like right here, and you only do really two highlights here. Maybe do the highlights on their own little thing. Don't put both back to back. Just my personal opinion here, because it is relatively hard to see this. I do like showing it all and then showing, hey, this is the original Japanese and then here's the English. I do like that, but maybe zoom in on this one more so and then show all the highlights that you're about to be doing. I think that's a better idea. That's just an editor thought process that I'm going on here. I know it's besides the point. It's just me nitpicking
the situation, but we will continue to confirm the facts. They then confirmed that Gao was no longer working on any ongoing content for the game. However,
rightfully so,
the most significant part of their announcement came next. Please be aware that there is a possibility that the character designs may change. In other words, even characters already in the game could soon be removed or totally redesigned. This announcement triggered a mixed response from players. While many supported the company's decision to distance itself from Gao, others were conflicted. Some fans felt uneasy about losing characters they had come to love simply because of the illustrator's personal behavior.
Probably a redesign would be the smartest move there. I get what the fans are saying, like, hey, we don't want to lose these characters. Just a redesign, maybe change up some looks here or there, alter some things here or there, just minor changes, but just enough so that, you know, they're no longer the same thing. I mean, they do that in like comic books, for crying out loud. How many different designs of Superman do we have? So there is ways to do this, and I get why people are frustrated and upset with it, but at the same time, get away from him.
After all, as some pointed out, the characters themselves hadn't done anything wrong, but from the company's perspective, the risk was too clear.
I actually agree with the company on this one. I get where people are saying like the characters that were made weren't involved, but depending on what the actual like contracts are, it actually might be a smarter idea to get away from that. Potentially he could be seeing royalties from all of his art. That's just me putting out some information. That doesn't mean that he is doing that. This is just, you know, basic business here, and you don't need to change them drastically. You just need to change them enough so that he loses any sort of like claim for any of this work.
His name had become a liability, and Girls Creation PR wasn't taking any chances. For now, his art remained in the game, but his future was uncertain. And yet again, another client prepared to erase him. By early July, yet another major publisher joined the growing list of companies cutting ties with Gao. On July 1st,
Kadokawa. Howdy, Kadokawa. How are you doing?
Kawa's Dengenki Bunko, one of Japan's most prestigious light novel publishers, announced that they would be replacing Gao as illustrator for the popular light novel series I'm a Guild Receptionist, but I don't want to work overtime.
Oh, I've heard about this series. I've actually heard about the series, and I think, doesn't it have an anime right now? Sorry, I'm going off on a weird tangent here. Doesn't this actually have an anime right now? I am a Guild Receptionist, but I don't want to work overtime. Yeah, it does have an anime right now. It came out last year. I've been told decent things about the anime, so I might check this out. But if he was the artist, holy crap. Holy crap.
So I'm going to defeat the boss solo, more commonly known as Gilmasu. The announcement made through their official website was simple and straight to the point. No reason was given for the decision, but for those following the scandal, the timing spoke for itself. Dengeki Bunko stated, "We sincerely apologize for all of our devoted readers for the concern caused. We are currently in discussion regarding the illustrator for the new book and the handling of existing books, and we'll make an announcement once a decision has been made." In other words, Gao's replacement was not just for future volumes. Discussions were already underway regarding what to do with the existing 8 published volumes, whether to reprint them with new artwork or leave them as they were. Gilmasu wasn't a small or niche title. It had been published since March 2021, had won the gold prize at the 27 Dengenki Novel Prize, and had even received a TV anime adaptation earlier in 2025. For Dengenki Bunko, this was a high-profile series, and removing Gao as its illustrator was not a decision they made lightly. Unlike some smaller publishers, Kadokawa made no attempt to soften the news. They acted decisively. Another major project, another subvert contract, and Gao's reputation fell further.
And again, I don't know what his actual contracts are going to be, but for people that might be saying, hey, they shouldn't have to do this, the characters, you know, are in fault. Like hearing that they have to go back and change stuff, there might potentially be, at least within like the anime and everything like this, and the manga or the light novel, whatever you want to say, the more specifics there could easily be, especially with a video game, that he gets some royalties based on how well these things are because he made the artwork for it. So they actually might have a financial reason to go in there and try to cut as much ties away from it as possible. That's why you do these redesigns. Now, that's not, again, that's not me saying that is 100% confirmed or I have any proof to say that. That's just me throwing it out there as a justification and a reason to possibly be doing this. try to get away from there as much as possible, do minor redesigns, minor alters, just enough though that they can end up not having to give him any sort of money. There is ways to do this. You can even take a look at character, actually VTubers is a good example of this. Narrow-sama had to go undergo a redesign. The original Narrow-sama model was an actual like a model that Vettel could not use for financial purposes. It was against the TOS of that actual model to do anything financially with it. It was just to be used as fun times, you know, stuff like that. So he went out there and did a redesign for the Narrow model, and it looks similar, but not the exact same. If I could actually give a Narrow-sama OG model versus new model. The new model. I'm trying to see. Yeah, it's a screen. It's not perfect what I'm showing here, but this is OG Narrow-sama versus new G Narrow-sama. So this was the original. Here's the new. There's minor changes, but enough to make it like, hey, this is an OG creation. There's not too much differences here. Same sort of uniform, just a few different colorings here or there. This is what a lot of people end up doing. So when it comes to a general redesign, it doesn't have to be drastic. It just has to be enough to basically get rights away from people.
Into freefall. And then another major blow to his career came from the anime and light novel series Welcome to the Exile's Dinner, one of his most public and recognizable projects. Originally, Gao had been credited as the character designer for both the light novel series and its upcoming TV anime adaptation, but that changed almost overnight. By June 30th, just days after the scandal broke, fans noticed a quiet but deliberate change. On the official website for the anime, the staff credits had been altered. The line reading character design Gao was removed. No explanation, no announcement, just gone. This deletion was later confirmed through archival snapshots from the Wayback Machine, proving that Gao's name had been scrubbed from the official anime site before the first episode even aired. And then on July 2nd, a formal announcement followed from Overlap's Novels, the publisher of the original light novel series. In their official blog post, they stated, "We're currently in discussion regarding the new illustrator and timing of the response, and we'll provide an update once a decision has been made." They confirmed that not only would future volumes of the light novel use a different illustrator, but even previously published editions of the novels might be reissued with entirely new artwork. In other words, Gao was being removed from both the anime adaptation and the original novels that it.
Just think about it like this real quick, okay? They're undergoing this man has caused so much financial disaster because of everything that he's done. And I'm willing to bet he had good contracts if they're having to go this far. All I'm gonna say is if you have those OG versions of any of this stuff, that shit's probably going to be worth some money. I'm just going to say, because now you're going to have alterations, massive alterations. Yeah, they're going to go forward probably with the alterations. But again, that's some good stuff. He was rich AF, probably, because just think about all this. How many people are having to change this stuff? And if it could, like, I am starting to think maybe he did have that contract that, hey, he's going to get royalties off this. Maybe he was royalty rich in all this stuff. So if he is getting serious kickbacks, they're trying to make sure that they don't have to pay him anymore and cut as much ties as possible. Bro probably was making decent amount of money because he was all over the place in these serious light novels. Apparently people like him. I kind of want to read a lot of these because if they're so successful, and I kind of want to see that anime. But at the same time, they're having to change so much of the stuff because of him. The financial impact is massive. The amount of money people are going to have to be spending now because of these decisions is insane. Heck, you can think to Rurouni Kenshin. The creator of Rurouni Kenshin had his own, things go down, and they basically had to stop the anime and then restart it up. But there's serious stuff there. Just the amount of financial impact there alone, like this stuff is serious. Multiple animes and mangas, even if he had royalties in one of them, it's a huge amount of money. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was based on. For a series that had captivated readers and was preparing for its anime broadcast, this was no minor adjustment. And for Gao, the message was unmistakable. His name wasn't just being pushed aside, it was being erased. But also he deserved it. And yet Gao's situation...
At the end of the day, he kind of deserved it. He brought this on himself, and part of me wonders what would have happened if he at least fought. You know what? I'm happy he didn't fight and he went away willingly, but what would have happened if he fought back and said, "No, I didn't do this. I am standing on principle. I did not bone this girl." Had you dead to rights, but it would have been at least a little bit more interesting to see you fight back.
Continued to worsen as another high-profile project publicly severed ties with him. This time it was the One N No Watson, a new light novel published under Shogakukan's Gagaga Bunko label. The novel wasn't just another release, it had already...
There was a lot of words in that one. I should have paused then. That sounded more like gibberish, to be honest.
Gained recognition, having won the Excellence Award at the 19th Shogakukan Light Novel Awards. The series, positioned as a contemporary mystery with a unique spin on the detective genre, was expected to be a significant title for the publisher. Originally scheduled for release in July 18th, 2025, the timing couldn't be worse, and Gao was responsible for the character designs and cover art. The novel's future suddenly shifted. On June 30th, the official announcement came, stating the release will be postponed and have a change.
Maybe he was getting away with something for so long that he decided it was no longer worth it. I doubt it. I think they just had him dead to rights, and he just said, "You know what? I'm just going to give up. I'm going to give up trying to fight back against this." I mean, it was all awful. Don't get me wrong. What he did was awful. But part of me wishes he would fight, because then it would be just a little bit more of a juicier story, and say, "You just gave up. Come on. I like the hunt."
Change of illustrator.
But actually, the more I think about this, think about it when you get like the hunters that you get a lot of nowadays, like the people that Roblox has been fighting against. You know, you get those hunters, and even when you get the hunters, sometimes they just, they come out and they just start spilling the beans of everything they did for some odd reason. They just start saying, "Yeah, I did this. Yeah, I did this. Yeah, I sent that picture. Yeah, I said I wanted to do that with that little boy." They just start saying all that nonsense, and it's like, why? Why are you just... Is there no like fight sense in any of you? It's just surrender and give up? Come on, give me the chase. I like the chase. Gives me something to put my feet up and laugh at. He's rich and will come back after a few years in prison. Yeah. Again, I love Japan, but some of their laws and restrictions are a little weird. No, Cloud, do not clip any of that.
Due to the circumstances involving the original illustrator, Gao.
Am I getting
They
another
sincerely
raid over
apologize
on,
to everyone who
Kick?
was looking
Shout
forward
out.
to it. Unlike previous projects where Gao's existing work remained for the time being, One N Watson was halted outright. The novel's release was postponed, all illustration tied to Gao was being replaced before the public would ever see them. They wanted none of that, and the publisher acted with a full restart. For Gao, this was the complete shutdown of a title that was supposed to mark the next chapter in his career, and once again, the industry moved on without him. In just a matter of days, Gao's career entirely collapsed. From
Justifiably so. Let's not mince words here. I get what she's trying to, tell you the story, tell you the narrative, which I love. This is one of the big reasons I love Rima videos. She does a great way of actually telling you the story and spinning you along this entire tale. And that's not me trying to like downplay anything. It's just really entertaining, and you just sit here and you're like, God damn, I fucking love this shit. But everything that she's saying here is like, it's justifiable, bro. You did heinous acts. You're a monster.
Trusted illustrator to industry pariah, his clients cut ties, his work were pulled or redesigned, and his online presence disappeared. His Pixiv accounts were closed, his fan box was gone, his name completely erased. And yet, perhaps the most unsettling part of this entire story...
Unsettling, not unselling, unsettling. I get it. You're a French Canadian. Okay, you're one of the few French Canadians in my world that I love, Rima, but it's unsettling, not unselling, unsettling.
Is how it even came to light at all. Because if not for one bizarre, almost impossible twist of fate, none of this might have been exposed. By sheer coincidence, Gao unknowingly dated the same minor twice, years apart. He blocked her...
How does that even happen? I unknowingly dated the same minor twice. And again, I have a sleazy joke that I want to say that I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say it, especially because it's so dark, depressing, and awful. But you're just sitting here like, how do you pull that off? You guys both had different accounts, and somehow you slept with the same minor twice. And I see Nagranol dropping that emote. Yeah, that was a thing that was said, Nagranol. That was a thing. The prison time will be no longer than a decade, mostly 7 to 8 years, and he's free with all of his money saved. To be fair, you're also not wrong, especially over in Japan. Say it, you want to. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it, especially because I'm recording this for a video. I am not saying that. I'm not. I'm not.
After both relationships too, and when he broke up with her a second time, she chose to speak out, partially out of anger. And if it had been anyone else that second time, Gao might still be working quietly behind the scenes today. What a chilling thought. But
All I'm gonna say is you obviously weren't very rememberable, if you get my drift.
as his career collapsed, one question lingered. What happens next? Japan's legal system has long faced criticism for its handling of sexual crimes, and past cases offer little reassurance. In 2020, for example, Tatsuya Mutsuki, the writer of Act Age, was arrested for molesting schoolgirls. He received a suspended sentence, 1 year and 6 months. He never served time. Then there's Nobuhiro Watsuki, the creator of Rurouni Kenshin, who was arrested in 2017 for possession of CP material. His punishment? A fine, approximately of $1,900, and a brief hiatus from his manga.
Yeah. Let's not mince words here, guys. Like, I love Japan, but you have your faults. Seriously, you have your faults?
National sales of Rurouni Kenshin paused for a time, but ultimately it resumed, and the series even received a new anime reboot in 2023. Both cases led to widespread outrage, and yet both creators continued their careers. It's worth noting both of these cases occurred before Japan's landmark legal reforms in 2023, so whether those changes will affect Gao's situation remains to be seen. But at the time of this recording, no formal charges have been confirmed, and Gao,
Who we talk about? A Gal. His name's Gal. I don't remember his full name, but he was a large VTuber artist. He did a lot of like anime illustrations, manga illustrations, light novel illustrations. Like, he was a big guy. He was very massive, and yeah. The creator not involved for the Kenshin reboot. Oh, the creator's not involved? I did not know that part. But he probably gets some royalties and kickbacks.
himself had issued no public statement beyond his confession during Korikori's stream. But in the court of public opinion, the verdict is
He probably won't even see jail time, to be quite honest with you, bro. That's the sad reality. But we don't know if the new laws might have any changes, because those went into effect in 2023.
clear. His clients are gone, his works are being replaced, and even if the legal system remains uncertain, his career is not. Because in industries built on trust, on parasocial bonds with fans, the loss of public faith is often a harsher sentence than any court could deliver. And for the VTuber world, the anime industry, and fans alike, this story serves as a sobering reminder. Behind every username is a person, and sometimes those people are hiding things far darker than anyone could imagine. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed today's breakdown and want to support the channel, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a future upload. And if you're interested in exclusive videos, anime reactions, and unfiltered commentary I can't post here on YouTube, check out my Patreon. The link's in the description below.
I might need to check out her Patreon. I joined her Discord recently, and I am a member of her channel. But I might have to join her Patreon, especially because I want to see what that drunk rendition was.
Support help keeps these deep dives going every single week. Oh, and if you want to discuss this story or just hang out with other anime and VTuber fans, come join my Discord server at discord.gg/.
Rima also has a really good rat dump, so I've been utilizing that for some of the things that I've been looking at. So Rima, like all of her stuff, I can't get enough of. And the reason why I haven't clicked off this video yet is because, one, I let her pimp her things, because that's the right thing to do. If they have a sponsor or anything like that, you let them pimp it, because hey, you're watching their content, let them pimp their things. But also, I'm hoping we get some of her fun edits.
Rima, it's free and we'd love to have you there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And while Gao alleged that Cover wanted Aqua to sign a non-compete contract. Sorry, I'll get this right.
I love listening to her outtakes and all of her her screw ups. It's charming, because it shows you that she's not perfect.
As Sakuna Yuki after her. The message was professional, calm, but unmistakably. And yet, even in that so admired could be at the center of such serious allegation left. The series positioned as a contemporary.
There's some funnier versions of like her outros and outtakes that are her essentially like how to actually Google the word and listen to how it has to be pronounced. But at the end of the day, that was a flashbang. Was not expecting to watch what I saw there. Again, the title of the video was beloved VTuber artist confessed to crimes live and destroyed his career. I was like, hey, at least there's gotta be some sort of chase to this. No, the bro just came out and admitted it. I was like, there has to be at least something interesting. Oh God, oh, you're not even gonna fight. Well, coming out, and then just the fallout of it. Again, guys, I love Rima videos. If you guys ever have a chance, go watch Rima videos. I can't pimp those out enough. I love so much of her content. She's always so charming and thoughtful, and she gets a lot of good stuff. And also check out her Discord, rima.gg or whatever it was. Like, her Discord has good rat dumps and stuff like that, and I do utilize that myself. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not gonna mince words. I utilize it. So that's that.